Where have you seen the most amount of improvement in this offense in the last month?
I think there's several things. I think tempo has been much better as far as getting on the ball and dictating the tempo of the game. I think Brian's mentality as a play caller, because I think it all goes back to the mentality of the play caller, very aggressive in what we're trying to do down the field. In order to create explosive plays, you got to take some shots. But I've seen that. I think, to me, I go back to the tempo of what we're playing with is going to help us in the run game. It's going to help us in protecting Jake. It's going to help us to be able to sustain more on drives. And I don't get big into the depth chart. I know you guys, it's like really the most important thing probably that's happened in your life recently. But, I mean, to me, it's about who finishes the game, not necessarily who starts the game. So that's really what I concentrate on. And that's that's the most important thing. So again, there's no question we've improved our depth. We have more quality depth to be able to play more guys, to have guys be able to sustain longer in the game and play at a high level. And you don't want a lot of drop off when you don't have a guy in there and you put into somebody else and you're holding your breath open and he plays well. And we're much better in that regard. No, I think it'll be fine. It looks great to me. I walked on it yesterday. It looked awesome. We did plan this. We actually had a plan for this. I know it shocks people, but we actually had a really good plan. They do this in almost every NFL stadium. They have a concert on a Saturday or Sunday. They have a lay-and-play turf. They put it down, and 7 days later they play on it. So.
Company for them to kind of like run around on it to settle it or anything like that?
No.
Saturday?
No. It's a phenomenal concept. Just lay and play. You lay it down and you play on it. I would envision all four playing.
What have you seen?
All have deserved it.
Yeah.
All four of those guys have had really good camps. Again, we need to get competition at every position like that, because you understand that you've got an opportunity to go strain every single day to earn your opportunity to play. And those guys, again, they've made our football team better because of that competition.
The leadership of the team going into this year, how it's compared in years past, with Bryson back, and guys like that kind of leading the program now as you guys enter in game week?
I think I'm much more comfortable now in our third year of where we are as far as those things are concerned, that our players understanding our expectation of practice, of workouts, of meetings, of game day, and how we want to be perceived. And I think that we've got really good leadership on this football team and guys that certainly take ownership in what it takes to be successful.
And then not look ahead and to just keep that motto all season.
Well, it's really our motto all the time, and I always talked about the players to every week as a season. So let's focus and be dialed in to what we can control this week, and that's playing Coastal. End of sentence. And really, whether it's in the meeting room, whether it's on the practice field, but all of our concentration needs to be there. And everybody else can talk about all the other stuff. We need to handle what we can control, and that's playing Coastal. And our preparation is so important for that. So that to me was my message for our team.
As far as, watching, knowing what you have, thinking you know what you have, that kind of thing.
Certainly. I mean, you never know a guy's going to react in front of 80,000 people when he runs out of the tunnel. And, sometimes I get on the headsets and say, hey, so-and-so don't look real good down here. We may need to have a backup plan. And we talk about that a lot as a staff. How is he going to respond in those situations? So you never really know. And so I think that that's always something you got to have a plan for. So-and-so's down. What are we going to do? And those are conversations we're constantly having throughout this week and even starting into last week.
Nervous, excited? Do you sleep much? What are those days for you?
I'm excited about it. Again, I don't you prepare your football team. You do everything you can do to put them in a situation to be successful. You make sure they're loose, they're focused, and understand the fun's in winning. So that's kind of where my mindset is. Once the hay's in the barn, so to speak, we get through with our walkthroughs on Friday. We have a team dinner on Friday night. We got a couple walkthroughs here and there that, we're just trying to make sure they're focused on what they need to do to be successful. And the great thing is we're kicking this thing off at noon. So when we get up in the morning, we're ready to go. Pre-game meals at 8 o'clock. Special teams walks at 7:45. We'll have another walkthrough before we get on the buses, and we'll get on the buses, come to Williams-Brice, and see the Gamecock Nation.